Venza. Proof it's possible to have utility and style.
You forgot style.
Ask someone you know who drives a Venza.
On the Channel 3 News tonight, a home invasion in Rutland. Plus, bad news for business owners. The feds have delayed the date for IRS filings yet again. And from the big performances to the big plays, we'll have all the highlights from the big game.
From WCAX, Vermont's most trusted news source, this is the Channel 3 News.
Well, good evening, and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Deanna LeBlanc. Adam has the night off. The Baltimore Ravens pulled out a close win in Super Bowl 47, but a power outage temporarily upstaged the game itself. Teresa Garcia is at the Superdome with the latest.
The Super Bowl came to a sudden stop shortly after halftime when some of the lights went out at the Superdome.
Half the power in New Orleans Stadium, the Superdome here, is out.
For more than half an hour, the players from the Baltimore Ravens and San Francisco 49ers tried to stay loose on the field. The press box and stadium walkways plunged into darkness.
It's not anything new, but it's a little strange in the Super Bowl.
Fans took the delay in stride.
It is what it is. I'm having a great time.
The crowd went wild as soon as the power was restored and the game restarted.
The extended timeout gave the 49ers a surge of energy, but the Ravens held onto their lead to win Super Bowl 47. More than 71,000 fans packed the Superdome to watch the game and the big-name entertainers.
Oh, beautiful.
Jennifer Hudson sang America the Beautiful with the Sandy Hook Elementary School Chorus. And Beyonce's halftime show featured a special reunion. Her former girl group Destiny's Child joined her on stage. Following a lip-syncing controversy last month, Beyonce said she would sing live, and fans here sure believe she did.
She was singing live, I mean from her heart. I could feel it.
And in a town known for its partying, it's time for the Ravens to continue the celebration. Teresa Garcia, CBS News, New Orleans.
Police across the state will be out in force tonight to keep post-Super Bowl partiers in check. Vermont State Police say that in the last 3 years, there were 91 car crashes in the state on Super Bowl Sunday. This year, police are beefing up sobriety and safety enforcement. They'll also be patrolling for aggressive driving, speeding, and seatbelt violations. A Burlington man is behind bars after allegedly beating a man over the head with a beer bottle early Sunday morning at Nectar's Lounge. Police say a brawl broke out after 27-year-old Nicholas Bermudez allegedly made advances toward the victim's wife. The victim suffered serious injuries to his face and arm. Another man was also struck with a bottle by a second unidentified man. He is being sought by police. And 2 men face assault and robbery charges following an incident in Brattleboro on Friday. Police say 32-year-old Anthony Gonzalez and 40-year-old Charles Trowell stabbed a man and robbed him on Elm Street. Police say the victim suffered a minor injury. Both men will be in court Monday. Trowell is also wanted by authorities in New Jersey. Police in Rutland are investigating a violent home invasion. Police say the 5 assailants kicked in the back door of a home on Maple Street Saturday afternoon, sprayed a can of pepper spray, and then demanded cash and drugs from the 3 people inside. 2 of the residents were also hit in the face with a handgun. 1 was taken to the hospital for further evaluation. Police say the assailants allegedly fled out the front door before they arrived at the scene. Anyone with information is being asked to contact Rutland City Police. Fire departments from 4 towns responded to a house fire in Wilmington Saturday. Officials say the call came in around 3:15 that afternoon, and the fire was out just 30 minutes later. No one was home at the time. No word yet on what sparked the blaze. A former Navy SEAL who gained fame with his best-selling book about being a sniper was shot dead over the weekend, along with another man. Tatiana Anderson has the story.
Chris Kyle, former Navy SEAL and author of the bestseller American Sniper, died from gunshot wounds at a Texas shooting range. Police charged 25-year-old Iraq War veteran Eddie Ray Routh with murder for shooting and killing Kyle and another man Saturday evening. Police say Kyle and his neighbor took Routh to the Rough Creek Lodge gun range outside Fort Worth. Police say Routh shot the 2 men with his semi-automatic handgun. Police say that Routh then escaped to his sister's house in Kyle's pickup truck and confessed. Police arrested him a short time later. The U.S. military says Routh was in the Marines from 2006 to 2010. Kyle was a Navy SEAL sniper, earning 14 different honors over his 10-year career, including 2 Silver Stars. In January, Kyle published this book, American Sniper. He described killing more than 150 Iraqi insurgents. He returned to Texas in 2009 and started a charity that helps veterans struggling with physical and emotional disabilities.
And we kind of have an idea that maybe that's why they were at the range, for some type of therapy that Mr. Kyle assist people with.
The organization's website posted a message that read, "Rest in peace." Routh is being held on $3 million bond. Police say he has not given a motive for the shooting. Tatiana Anderson, CBS News.
Well, still ahead tonight, New Hampshire lawmakers take on health care reform. And chicken wing sales are booming this Super Bowl Sunday. We'll tell you how one local seller is handling the heat. But first, here's Dave with a look at the weather.
Well, the first weekend of February was relatively quiet, and it's actually looking pretty quiet for the rest of the week. So let's take a look at the wake-up weather.
If you're waiting for your tax refund, you may be waiting a little longer. The IRS has now pushed the federal tax filing season back by another month, mostly for businesses, but it's unclear when individual returns will be accepted as well. Bridget Berry-Caswell explains.
The good news is Congress reached a deal on the nation's debt limit, and the country did not fall off the so-called fiscal cliff. The bad news is the bill, called the American Taxpayer Relief Act of 2012, passed on January 1st, a little late for the Internal Revenue Service. The IRS has had little time to get new forms prepared and its computer system ready to process returns. Officials first pushed the date to January 30th, but now?
Now they just came out with a new announcement that says if you have one of 30 specific forms, then they're not going to be able to process your returns till either end of February or early March.
The 30 forms affect mostly businesses and corporations, but Wolfish tried to file a simple individual tax return on January 31st, and it too bounced back. So he says it is unclear when individuals will be able to file as well. The forms he refers to include those for education tax credits, energy efficiency credits, and depreciation on rental or other business property. The delay means an even tighter window for businesses, which are required to file by March 15th, a whole month earlier than individuals.
And for those returns, IRS is saying end of February, early March is the earliest you could file a return due March 15th. Now that's, of course, only if you have one of these 30 forms. But I think most corporate returns will have at least one of these forms.
Wolfish says the delay can be stressful for individuals who receive refunds each year and rely on that money to cover expenses. And even when they are able to file, their refund may not be returned as quickly as usual.
Now, they're going to be getting millions of returns in a 24-hour period where previously they received those returns throughout the whole month.
A lot of uncertainty remains as American taxpayers and those who prepare their returns work to meet obligations set by Uncle Sam during a shorter tax filing season. Bridget Berry-Caswell, Channel 3 News, South Burlington.
Although most people file their state and federal returns at the same time, you can file them separately. And in Vermont, the tax department says it is not experiencing any delays processing returns. Better late than never. That's the message from 2 state agencies recommending that New Hampshire partner with the feds to meet health care reform requirements. The state has until February 15th to decide whether to enter a partnership or leave most duties to the federal government. The state insurance and health commissioners are pushing a partnership that would make the state responsible for both regulating insurance companies and the plans they offer. Details of the proposed plan will be taken up by lawmakers this week. Well, Super Bowl Sunday isn't just about football, it's about food too. And those who sell America's #1 Super Bowl snack, this day means all hands on deck. At Wings Over Burlington in South Burlington, managers expect to sell more than 6,000 boned chicken wings and another 20 pounds of boneless wings. They've been preparing for the big game for a week now.
We basically double our staff everywhere. Like it's twice as busy as a normal Friday. So we would have 7 drivers on a Friday night or so. We've upped it to 14 drivers, and our phone staff we usually have 3 or 4 on. Now we have 7, and cooks are doubled to 8, and there's just everyone. Basically, everyone who works here is here today.
By late afternoon, Huffnagel expects it to be standing room only in the restaurant. She says it's better to pre-order your chicken wings on Super Bowl Sunday to ensure you'll get some of the 800 wings and 50 pounds of boneless wings they can cook every half hour. Well, coming up on tonight's news, a Greensboro brewery labeled best in the world.
We have a fairly quiet week on the way. The entire forecast is coming up. We're watching a possible Clipper system on Friday with a chance for light snow, nothing big, highs 25 to 35. And then mostly sunny Saturday and Sunday with highs mainly in the 20s, a few 30s by Sunday.
All right, Dave. Well, thank you very much. Scott's here now with sports. No blackouts in your sportscast,
well,
I'm hoping.
Let's hope not. However, if I do a bad job halfway, maybe the power can cut out.
Vermont is now home to the best brewer in the world. That's according to RateBeer.com, a popular craft beer review website. Hill Farmstead Brewery in Greensboro won out as 2013's top brewer. It was in a category with thousands of others from around the world. 8 of Hill Farmstead's beers were also listed in the top 10 new beers. Rate Beer has millions of active members who can post ratings. 108 of those members, according to the website, are master beer tasters. And Lawson's Finest Liquids of Warrant also made the top 100 list. Well, we will have to try that.
I wasn't escaping. I really wasn't.
Don't leave yet.
It's so late. I didn't think the show was over.
No, we still have one last check of the weather with Dave.
Yeah, nothing too exciting going on this week. Today is going to be most